Welcome to Lex Cunningham's Pure Garbage Podcast, Golf Edition, with Mr. Money, Donnie Fitzalata, and Barry Portley.
Yeah, baby. Golf. PGA, CPGA, Barry Portley. Money.
Time to gamble.
My man, Fitzalata.
What's going on?
All right. Golf. That time again. Spring's here. The snow, the dew is starting to rise, and the snow is melting.
My favorite time of year. I can't wait. That and football season.
That and football, yes, Portley. The orgasmic expression you had on your face is rather weird.
Eye contact, too.
Eye contact, too, which just really makes me want to shower. We'll start with you, Money. Let's talk about Dave Hearn, a little bit of Mackenzie Hughes, and, of course, Adam Hadwin.
Adam Hadwin, that's right. Hadwin and Hughes are really the Canadians to look out for right now. In fact, as we speak, the Mackenzie Hughes just finished second in a tournament down in Mexico. So he's
Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Yes. Just finished second, so he's doing all right. Adam Hadwin, who is the top-ranked Canadian in 70th, so the only Canadian right now in the top 125. But Canadian golf is in good hands on the men's side, but even in better hands on the ladies' side. And of course, none other than Brooke Henderson, who has just been a darling, first Canadian to
win the
Canadian Open, which was unbelievable, remarkable to do it at home.
Yeah.
So a bit of a bright future on the Canadian side, but especially Brooke Henderson. She's the one who's actually showed some results and had some wins under her belt, including a major. So
you like your tennis, you like your golf, you like your hockey, your football, and then I know you're in the handball. yeah, Fitzy, he's in the handball. European handball. No offense to the African handball, but you prefer European handball. Okay, so you're watching tennis, and tennis, like handball, it has to do with reflexes and that. And then we get into golf, which is a big swing and a big gate, and make contact with the ball and plant that ball right on a definite spot on a field, in a pasture, parking lot, or in my garage. How would I be able to get Barry Portley into it?
3, 2, 1.
Well, you would start him, I would imagine, with some lessons.
You need a lot of work.
A lot of work. You would need to have probably somebody you can talk to, a counselor, after you deal with trying to help them. A lot of drinking, and we're talking about golf, right?
Golf,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So for young Barry here, lessons early, and money and time.
What do you mean money though? Like can't we just get him a club? Where to plot the ball with some what are those things? Yellow things you put on the ground there, pylons,
Cones.
We
as they say in East New Brunswick.
We did try that already, and how did that work out, Portley? How's your golf game?
I tried to drink out of the cone.
Okay, so he's got some buzz going. Give us some buzz there, Portley. Okay, so Fitzalata, there's some buzz. You're the guy at Golf Pro Etobicoke there selling clubs for half price. And you can make a phone call because you were out there at the course and you seen him making a good swing. His pops over here, Money, says, yeah, I want to give him a deal. Would you be able to get him a deal on some clubs and send him to the right place?
We can certainly get him a deal on some clubs, but more importantly than the clubs, this man is going to need some lessons. Because for anyone who's actually tried to golf out there, anyone can kind of swing a club, generally speaking, but it is so technical that I think that's the foundation of everything. You know what?
Mental.
And mental, yes. For anyone who's golfed, it's just as much a mental game as it is a physical game. But the lessons, imperative. You have to get lessons.
So you can't just get out there, start whacking away, and expect your ball to just land anywhere. So getting back to Pops their Money. So we had the sidebar here. The guys are saying, yes, lessons. Do you put him in a tournament right away? Where's he go to be like a Mackenzie?
Well, he would have to start again in regional qualifiers. Chances are, prior to that, you would have to be affiliated in most cases with some kind of university, college, some kind of
really.
A lot of these kids are coming out through
a program,
programs, and so there's intense coaching, there's programs, and most of these guys have played on university teams, college teams, championships. That's where they get their first experience playing playing on those. And then if you can get past that level and you still have something to offer, then you would go to, for example, the web.com tour, which is now basically your minor leagues of golf.
Web.com?
Web.com tour. So it's a basically.
They're not a sponsor, but they're going to get a call.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, yeah.
Call us.
And money always takes the juice on any partnerships, sponsorships. So you get through the system. You become a little bit of a recognizable name. Now again, you get into the tour. Then the tour is designed to reward the guys who truly really finish in the top so many. I mean, they give exemptions for the top 10 or 15, 20 golfers, whatever it might be. Certain guys get right onto the tour. Certain guys have to go to second qualifiers. So the avenue is pretty straightforward. You're either going through a school system, a program, or you're going into qualifiers, which can then get you into some of these basically minor league tours.
Jump over, say, to the PGA and play in a tournament against Rory. I would have to come up the ranks in my own country, do well, most likely be in university or college, played on a team, kind of like an old boys club, isn't it? No?
Well, you could say that, but I mean, golf is one of the most, it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
The beauty of that is if you are good, you can make it. As opposed to, you hear the politics involved in kids coming up through hockey. Thank you. And other sports, I would imagine, especially hockey.
Who you know.
Hockey.
And so where it differs in these individual sports and why I'm so, I love to watch these sports is because it's based on true merit. I mean, it comes down to not just merit, but it comes down to actual numbers and hard data. If you shot this score and you did it this many times and you beat this many guys, then guess what? You can get to this next level. You can get to this tournament.
Have you physically ever been at a tournament and seen some of these guys close up?
I have. I was, and I believe I'll be making another appearance in this year's Bell Canadian Open, but I did attend the Canadian Open years ago. Now, unfortunately, I attended about 3 or 4 in a row, and then Tiger Woods showed up, and that's the one I couldn't make it to. But I have been at them, and they are amazing. I mean, just to see the dedication, the time they take, the shot, the thinking that goes behind the shots, the planning, the prep. Now, I think Portley here can trump my story because he was somewhere special one time.
Yeah.
Had the luxury a couple years back when I went overseas to visit my cousin, and happened to be just at the time that the British Open was on. It was at Royal Liverpool. We were in London, so we took the 3.5, 4 hour trip, whatever it was. I slept mostly through it while my poor cousin had to stay awake and one eye on the road. But the first 2 golfers, after we got a burger in our gut and a nice pint of Stella, the first 2 golfers I saw as I walked across the 4th fairway, Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. Were them right there. I got to be up close with Darren Clark and a few others. And
did you offer Tiger your Stella?
He could go look for it when I pitched the glass in the bush.
By the way, there's someone at the door for you about that. Okay, what's the first thing that struck you when you entered?
That you could literally walk around with a glass pint of Stella in my hand. Oh, we're talking about golf.
Besides the fact that you could have a libation while you enjoyed the sport.
How far these monsters hit the ball. I know a couple people in my lifetime that I golf with friends, etc., that you think, wow, these guys could really hit a ball. My cousin, when I was in England, because he almost played semi-pro, wow, he could hit a ball. Yeah. You watch these guys, it is about 100. Any ball that you have ever cranked in your entire life, they've hit 100 kilometers further or 100 yards further. Yeah. Canadian talk here. Yeah. And 100 yards higher than you at the same time. And the sound that comes off the clubs, there's a reason they're professionals. Right. There's a reason they're the best in the world.
Now, getting back to being trained, is that a part of why you'd want to be affiliated with, say, a school or a program? You would learn the technique of making that ball fly off the club head?
And that's a great segue to the point I wanted to make about watching golf on TV and being at a tournament or watching. The one thing that differentiates, well, the many things, but one of the most important things that differentiates these professional golfers and us, everyday or weekend golfers is when you're watching on TV, you don't see the flight of the ball. When you become a golfer, you establish a draw, a fade, spin. It's that element that takes you to the next level. Anybody can skate backwards, skate hard, skate fast, have a hard shot.
Yeah.
But when you have the skill behind that, and such as in golf, when you're able to adjust to the wind and adjust to the conditions and adjust to the slope of a green that you're about to hit from 200 yards away, you're adjusting your shot at that spot to coincide with where it's going to land on a particular spot in the green. So it's that extra level of skill and knowledge. Again, the fading, the draws, that's what differentiates. And that's why you would want to go to a university or college or a program where you would learn that, because they have the best resources and coaches.
And you're doing it with potentially 400 people to the left and 40 yards away to the right of where you want to hit this said ball.
That's right.
Which is another thing incredible, how people don't get seriously injured at these events.
Which goes back to what we were saying before. Like, anyone can pick up a club, swing a club, but it's those fine details that you have to work on over and over and over again that's going to, separate you from the rest of the field, right?
Now it's time for us to go grab our clubs.
Thank you for listening to Lex Cunningham's Pure Garbage Podcast. To find us, subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Downcast, and Stitcher.